Give us a few minutes while we are still trying to figure out the YouTube today. All right. Yes, we got it. Okay, so here we go. Let's mute everybody. And yep, everybody else is muted except for me. So hello, and a very warm welcome to all of you, and to everybody who has just joined. A very warm welcome to all of you. And namaskar. I'm still trying to figure myself out as to how I can be the speaker instead of Patokshi. Okay, Patokshi is showing up. Yes, that would be me. All right, so namaskar and a very warm welcome yet again. Okay, everybody, so starting right off the bat, today's topic, and thank you for being here. And today's topic is all about complaints, complaint, and venting out. You know, it is kind of funny that in many places where I used to be a friend to people, you know, between friends, what do? You vent to each other. Something is not going right. You talk to them, you vent it out, you think you feel better. And then after that, you know, you meet with your best friends. What are you doing? You're talking about everything that has happened in the past and venting out, oh, he did this and she did that, and you're complaining. And after that, you meet with friends and you feel a lot better. You feel lighter because whatever you were storing inside, you have released. And that's what you think. So when many of my friends now, you know, they talk to me and they say, we don't like you anymore. We don't like you anymore because you don't let us vent. We want our friend. We don't want this Mata all the time who's always telling us, you know, don't vent, don't do this. We want that friend, the one that we could talk to, the one we could share with. We want that friend. And I'm like, I'm so sorry, but that friend is not alive anymore. That friend is dead. That person, that one I used to be, where, okay, you can come and you can vent, you can talk to me, you can complain about people, you can bitch about people, and then you will feel lighter. And I will be like, okay, I helped you get through something. I now understand that doesn't happen. You can keep talking about somebody, you can keep complaining about somebody, you can keep, just a second, there is some noise that's coming. Okay, Nalin. Yeah, you can keep complaining, but if your intent is actually to make your life better, then simply by complaining and venting and meeting with friends or talking about somebody to everybody, you know, you can talk about, let's say you don't like your wife. You can complain and complain and complain about your wife to everyone. Is that going to make your life any better? Will you actually feel lighter? No. Why? Because whatever is actually making you feel heavy is still going to continue. That is not going to shift. If you have problems in life with one person or another, then again, just simply by talking about them, complaining about them, you know, bad mouthing them, not to say that, you know, you don't feel it from the heart, but it's not going to shift your life. And so if the intent, if your purpose really about all of these complaints is actually to shift your life, to make it a little bit better, to make it a little bit more peaceful, then you've got to look at this energy of complaint itself. What is it that we do through the complaints? You know, when I complain about my boss, what is it that I'm doing? I'm growing so many things, you know, so many different types of energy at the same time. For example, let us say I'm complaining about my boss and he's always giving me a hard time and he's never listening to me and he's always behaving in a certain way. And then when I begin to look at the energy itself, my energy would be that of, first, I would be frustrated. So I will throw some frustration that why is he like this? Why is he not listening to me? Why? But through the why is he doing this? Why is he not doing that? Through all of the whys, what would I be doing? I would be growing my frustration and the anger that follows, the anger that follows, the mild frustration, and the frustration gets deeper, and then we begin to get angry. And from the anger, there is resentment. We will then start to build up resentment. Why? Because, oh, he doesn't behave like this with somebody else, but he always behaves like this with me. And the finger is on them, and the finger is on me, and then the finger is on them. And this is where the energy experiences are being created. So as we talk about, he never listens to me, he doesn't do this, he doesn't do that, we will start to then feel resentment towards that person who is never listening to us. And along with that, at times when we are really feeling bound, we don't want to be at this job anymore. However, we are stuck in it. We have no other place to go. What will we feel? We will also begin to feel helpless. We will feel helpless about the situation, about this person, about the non-changing events that are happening outside, the repeat patterns that we are experiencing. So through all of this, through just complaining, now we are noticing the energy. Through the complaints again and again and again, can you see the series of experiences that we are creating for ourselves? Because it's not as if just because I'm going to complain about it, no longer am I going to feel helpless. As a matter of fact, the more I regurgitate, I keep bringing those events again and again. I tell him and I tell her and I tell him and I tell her and I tell the whole world around. But while I'm telling the whole world, what am I doing? I'm going back into the energies frequencies, into those energy frequencies that I feel when that fellow is right in front of me. And right now, that fellow might not be in front of me, but I am choosing to, through my constant looking outside and constant complaining, I am choosing to stay in that frequency. I'm choosing to be in that frequency even more than necessary. Necessary would be when you're actually in the situation, when things are happening, when boss is saying something and you are feeling all of those emotions. But no, we keep revisiting those moments, and through that revisiting, we are simply creating more and more of the same energies. We are actually simply creating our new experiences from these experiences. And so for that reason, I'm no longer the one who sits with you when you want to complain to me. As a matter of fact, when anybody comes home to talk to me, to discuss whatever is happening in their lives, the minute, if they're asking me something, it's okay. But the minute their finger goes outside, he is doing this and she is doing that and he is doing this, the minute the finger goes outside in that complaint form, I'm like, don't talk to me. I'm not going to be able to help you here because the finger is too much on the outside. You haven't claimed your power yet. You haven't understood your creation yet. This is all about being able to understand that everything that you are complaining about today is your creation. And then from this space, if you continue to sit here, you can only create more of the same. By complaining a little bit more, don't expect that this situation outside is going to suddenly come to peace. It won't. It can only come to peace outside if you hold peace in your energy frequencies. And so that's all that, that's all that needs to be done, to continuously look within, to say, what all have I created all this while? No, this is not my creation. He was always like this, or she was always like that, or right from the day that we have been married, this person has been like that only. Right from the day. Array, who is the actor here? If you are the aware person, then you would know that that outside fellow your spouse, your child, that outside fellow, that fellow still continues to be outside of you and is therefore simply a reflection of you. So that outside fellow that you are putting the finger on and you are cribbing about, you are complaining about, you are bitching about, whatever those words might be, that person is an actor. Your energies of hate and complaints and resentment and anger and worries and fears are giving rise to these situations, are giving rise to these situations. So today, when you sit in awareness, many of you say to me that, if I start to complain about somebody, then you, as in me, I will immediately come and start speaking to them in their ear and say, okay, stop complaining, stop making a big deal about this, simply start working within. This is the space. This is the space of working within when the finger comes back. It could be about anything. It could be about a small thing. You could be complaining about, the growing prices. You could be complaining about the politics. You could be complaining about anything. Have you noticed that in a day, you can find so many things to complain about? So many things. That list can be endless. And when you become aware to be able to see, why am I complaining? What frequency of mine is making me complain? For example, there is, in the place where I stay, there is a gym. And many people use that gym. And there is one person who is constantly running after the other users, and she keeps running with, you have to use a towel for everything. You have to use a towel. You have to use a towel. Now, that's her journey. But if I was in that space and looking at this person who is so paranoid that you have to use a towel, otherwise there are germs everywhere. You have to use this, otherwise there are germs everywhere. You cannot drop sweat in a gym. You cannot drop sweat. You have to use towels everywhere. When I'm looking at the energy of this, what is it looking like to me? It is looking like fear. That somebody is complaining constantly because they are sitting in excessive fear. They're sitting in fear that something will happen to them because of somebody's sweat. And this is where they have given their power away. That powerlessness that they feel, when something happens to them, they've actually given the power away to the entire universe. To the entire universe. Whoever is out there is going to manage to make them even more fearful. And so this complaint, for example, is coming from fear. When you complained about, when you complain about, let us say, the political system or the society, many people will just sit and say, oh, the society is just going to the dogs. This is not right and that is not right. And the society is going to the dogs. You are complaining about society. What is the society giving to you right now? It is giving you disappointment. You are disappointed with the way that the society is working or with the way the political system is working. What is your frequency as you look at something and you complain about something? So again, you complain about your children. What is your frequency? Your frequency might be of disappointment. It might be of sadness. So this complaint can happen from many different frequencies. But instead of just simply going on and on looking outside and hoping and waiting for the country to change, for the society to change, for your children to change, for your spouse to change, instead of that, the work is to be able to look within, to be able to look within to see what experiences of mine do I keep growing through this format of looking outside and venting. And you think that, oh, in your close friend circle, you can vent and then you will feel lighter. That's a misnomer. There is no feeling light, because the feeling of lightness comes from your energy space. When your energy space is empty, you will feel light. And when your energy space is filled with frustration and anger and disappointment and all of these emotions, you will not feel light. Yes, you might feel light for a few minutes just because you enjoy. Many of the people will enjoy doing these complaints because they like to see themselves in the victim position. They love the sympathy that they get in the victim position. Oh, they are doing this to me, and let me tell you about how bad my life is. And somebody goes, oh, ho, ho, that's really sad. Oh, ho, poor you. And many people get addicted to this poor you. This poor you. And then everybody will sit and say, oh, you have such a bad life. Oh, come, let's treat you to something. Let's treat you to another dinner. Let's treat you to another lunch. Sure, you can enjoy all of those dinners and lunches. But if you think that by going out there, complaining about someone, your life is going to turn towards the better, no. After feeling all of that wonderful stuff, after having a good lunch and a good dinner, when you come back home, you are going to find that same actor over there because you haven't changed the script. The script can only change when you work within. So long as the finger is outside, somebody wrote to me the other day about, oh, I have an ex person who bullies me. Or in my life, bullying has been a big role. And I've always been bullied. I've always done this, and I've always been in this place. And it is so sad. And sitting in, feeling sorry for themselves. That, oh, poor me, everybody is bullying me, and this is my pattern. But, I sit in this pattern, and so sad I am. And what do? I have zero interest in listening to your stories of powerlessness, because it's you that is giving away that power. There is nobody outside. You have inherent power, but you also have an inherent choice to be able to give that power to whoever you wish to. And how does the power move from one place to the other? When the finger is outside. When the finger is outside and it hasn't come within, that it is my frequency that is creating all of this. That sentence itself is the one that makes you feel the power. No matter what is happening outside, if I am in it and if I have emotions about it, this is my frequency. And therefore, because it is my frequency, therefore, I can change it. Therefore, I can change it. And that immediately puts the power into our hands. The power is not about being able to change somebody on the outside. The power is all about being able to bring myself to love. Bringing myself to love. And even as we explore this one line, bringing myself to love. When you are complaining about someone, there is no love for that someone. There is no love for that someone. There is resentment, there is hate, there is anger towards that someone. And then as we go deeper and deeper within, to simply recognize that there is no other. So whoever that fellow is that you're right now putting hate towards or disappointment towards, that is only you. It is only you. There is only you, and you are simply putting out a person's name over there and projecting your hate onto that tool. But it's your hate, and actually it is directed towards yourself. And so if you experience hate for someone, if you experience disappointment and resentment and whatever other emotions be for someone, and that's what makes you go out and complain, take a look at it. Remove all of those others' names from the equation. There is no you. Sorry, there is no them. There is no them. There is only you. There is only you in this picture. And so as you remove their names, and then the line becomes, oh, I don't like because they do this. I don't like because they do this. I don't like because I do this. And then go look at all the places where you have been doing that to yourself. When you talk about bullies, I don't like when they bully. When they bully. And then so many times you are bullying yourself and you are bullying others. This word bully itself, the word bully, what does the word bully hold? The word bully means somebody who gets their way all the time. But remove all the time from it, because nobody gets their way all the time. But somebody who gets their way, somebody who gets their way a little bit more than somebody else. And now that's a bully. I'm going to, go back to this one really funny instance of bullying. So I was always this kind of a person who felt majorly agitated and very, very, strongly. I always used to be rooting for the underdog. For the underdog. If two teams are playing, football, and I have no idea what those two teams are like, who's strong, who's not, I'll simply look at the scores, and whichever team is right now, not winning or struggling, I would be rooting for that team. I used to be that kind of a person to root for the underdog. And then, so as somebody, one day, I didn't even realize that it happened, but somebody was laughing at me. Somebody was laughing at me while I was going through a lot of pain. Somebody was just looking at me and I was making funny faces. I was making funny faces. I make funny faces all the time. But I was making funny faces, but internally, I was going through a lot of pain. And this person knew that I was going through pain, but they looked at me and they started to laugh at my faces. And at that point in time, that I didn't register it, but somewhere my system, my energies registered it as bullying, as bullying. And then a few days passed by, and then, this thing came up, to be resolved. And so I'm sitting over there and working with it and saying, what about bullying do I need to understand? What about the word bullying do I need to understand? And Mani says to me, let go of this, judgment that bullying is bad. Just simply let go of this judgment. It's just a judgment that bullying is not good and bullying is bad. These are simply judgments. And so Mani said, let go of this judgment that bullying is bad. And so I looked at the word and I released all of this energy underneath that. Bullying is not a good thing. Those who are bullies are not good people, etc., etc. So I looked at all the places where I had been bullied. There was one instance in life that I had been bullied. I looked at that instance and I gave thankfulness to that one person. And I was done with working on myself. And the word bully had been released. Just a few days later, somebody who lives with me, they had, I think it was gallbladder stones or something. So they had gallbladder stones suddenly playing up, and we took them to the hospital. But no matter how much medicine went in, how many injections went in, the pain wasn't getting over. And so after some time, after about 2 or 3 injections, the doctors sent her home saying, ki, abhi ghar jao, we can't give you any more injections. Just keep drinking a lot of beer or water or something. And then maybe, hopefully, the stones will move. And we came home and she's crying because there is so much pain. And I received this guidance saying, bully her energies. Bully her energies right now. Her energies hold that pain and yours don't. So right now, let your energies bully her energies. And I understood why just a few days ago, the word bully had come to be released. The word bully had come to be released. So I was easily able to say, okay, I'm going to be the bully and I am going to bully, because I was told in guidance, I'm not around there trying to bully anyone otherwise, or so I think. But in this place, in this spot, I was actually told in guidance, bully her energies. And as soon as I told her, I said, okay, in the energies, and I didn't even talk to her. I just simply put my hand on her and I said, in the energies, my energies are bullying yours. It was about 2 minutes in which she was fast asleep. It was the fastest healing that I had witnessed in front of my eyes, that I just simply barely put my hand on her. And I said, okay, my energies are going to bully yours. And then my energies of peace and contentment just immediately took over. And that was that. In 2 minutes, this woman who was crying for the past 4 hours, in 2 minutes, She was fast asleep. And this happened. Now, it was fun to observe because in the morning, when she got up, it was, again, the stones hadn't moved. The stomach was still hurting so much. And so when she woke up, again, the pain started. I barely walked into the room and I said, okay, I'm going to get you some breakfast and we take you to hospital again. But as you are going to be, waiting for the breakfast, all right, here, I'm going to bully you again. And I had told her in the morning, I said, I'm going to bully you again. I'm bullying your energies and your energies are going to get bullied by me. And with that, I walked out. By the time I prepared breakfast and everything and took it back to her, fast asleep she was, fast asleep again. And this was the fun part of bullying. But it could only happen when that charge around the word bully had been released. When we think of bullies, what is it that we do? We create hate. We create hate, we create resentment, we create all kinds of experiences of emotions for ourselves, and we keep those in the energy field. But even this resentment is only for parts of us. So, what is it that we need to do? Accept that we are sometimes a bully and sometimes we are the non bully. So, simply just to be able to work each word. Now, for the past many times, I've been doing just this because I understand that as we go around living our daily lives, now it's come to this point where we are simply to be aware of the very subtle things that we do, the thoughts that we think, the words that we put pressure on. The words mean something to us. So wherever we are looking at words which mean something to us, but the meaning makes us triggered. The meaning makes us heavy. The meaning itself makes us sad. For example, this word bully. So when that happens, we begin to look at the words itself. And that's what we are doing right now for the word complaint also. When you look at complaining about something in life, understand it's not a solution. You can keep venting out, and that's not a problem. It's just going to be that the more of the same is going to be created. So don't expect that with you venting over and over again, and with you venting more, that a different outcome is going to play. Because whatever energy you are working with, whatever energy you are holding in yourself, whatever energy you are growing for yourself, well, that's where the creation is going to happen. It's just as simple as that. You are the creator. And so, what is it that you are creating and from which emotion? So, take a look, and that would help you complain less and less. As you complain less and less, more peace within. For the very same things that you could complain about, now they will continue to happen in front of you. They will continue. The stories outside continue to happen. Are you in the story or are you a witness to the story? That's all the difference there is in, are you feeling peaceful or are you, pulling your hair apart? That's all the difference there is to it. Are you part of the story itself or are you being able to watch it from a distance? And so when we complain, very much we are in the story. Very much we are in that form of finding somebody else to complain about, to find faults with. But actually, as we now know, there is nobody outside who has faults. There is nobody who has faults itself. There are no faults. There are simply plays of energy. Whatever energy, if I am holding the energy of anger, then somebody will screw up. Somebody will be faulty so that I can enjoy my anger frequency a little bit more. And that's how energies work. As simple as that. If I'm sitting today in frustration frequency, outside some story is bound to happen, which will give me frustration. And then I might grow it a little bit more by complaining about it to 28 other people. However, when I now become aware, it's not that I'm going to stop my first reaction, that I cannot feel frustrated only. No, it's okay to feel frustrated. It's okay to feel frustrated. Why? Because it's just a frequency. It's just a frequency. I can feel every frequency. But then when I understand it's just a frequency, becomes the minute, becomes the moment where I can truly then let go in that moment of that frequency and choose something else. I can choose whatever I wish to choose. And so a whole host of other frequencies like faith and love and joy and masti, they all become available in that moment when you are able to look at the complaint and to let go. Let go of your frustration or anger or disappointment or regret or whatever it is. Yes. So again, nothing new that I say, but reminding you in a day. And sometimes we're not even talking to other people. We're just talking to ourselves only. Oh, see now, this one is eating pizza in her bedroom. And now she's not going to bring out the plate. And now she's not going to do this. I know she's not going to do this. Yeah. And with that, when we begin to understand, right now, has it happened? Nope. Right now, a pizza plate has just gone in. But we've already created disappointment in this minute itself by projecting our future into this moment of now. That future might happen or might not happen. But for us, it's already happened because the experience I would get from that pizza plate not coming out, and I'll have to clean, and they're always doing this. People will have these complaints about children. So you've already created whatever disappointment and anger and frustration. The real event doesn't even need to happen. You've already sat down and experienced all that that moment was going to bring to us. And then if it happens, we're like, told you. They're always doing like this only. They're not always doing like that. You already sat in the frequency of frustration. They had no choice. They had no choice but to continue and bring you more of the same experience. But when now we begin to catch ourselves, ask, has it happened yet? Has it happened already? No. If it hasn't happened already, let me release this future disappointment that I was going to feel in the now. All of this disappointment that you are keeping for that time. Oh, when they don't bring out the pizza plate, I'm going to be so disappointed and angry, and I'm going to give them a mouthful. All of these emotions that you are saving for that time, release them right now when you become aware. And as you become aware more and more, what will happen? They will not bring the pizza plate out. The same thing that you thought was going to happen will happen. And yet, it won't trigger you anymore. Why? Because you've already released all of that disappointment in the now. You've released the disappointment in this moment. It doesn't need to carry on for another 2 days. You will not anyways feel the trigger if they do that same exact thing, because the stories might happen outside, but inside you've brought yourself to joyfulness. And that's how we move away from venting, from complaining, from cribbing. Nothing except more crib was ever achieved from that place. And I speak from personal experience. Before all of this fancy journey started, there were like 1 or 2 actors in my life. Any time that my mouth opened for them, only complaints. And then when I began to realize that, oh my God, they were playing such a beautiful role in my life, they were bringing me to self-love. Not that I began to realize, sorry, I got in guidance one day. Otherwise I would have not realized even for now. But when I sat down and I said, what's with them? Why can't they be different? And they're like, Arre, why should they be different? You gave them the role so that they could bring you to self-love. You first come to self-love, They'll figure out their paths or their dialogues later. First, you come to self-love. And from that space, I came into major gratitude for them. So thank you that you brought me to this place of self-love, that I understand that you don't exist. You are simply bringing me to accept all of those parts of me that right now I do not accept. I do not accept this part of me. I do not accept the lying part of me. I do not accept, and just simply to accept all parts of me, because all parts are mine only. And once I did that, oh my God, those people totally changed. Those people changed. They were no longer, giving me such a hard time. But where is that from? Did it come because I complained about them for 6 years? Or did it happen because I looked within for 6 weeks? After this answer came, really, it took less than 6 weeks. Less than 6 weeks. And a lifetime of complaining, but less than 6 weeks for the person to shift. And that, when they shift, it's really even more funny, because now your eyes not even on them. You don't even realize that they're shifting or not, because you are no longer triggered by them. And then they cease to exist in your universe. They are there, but they are not existing in your universe, because now no longer they are triggering you. And that's how it works. Okay. Yeah, that's my gyan. Okay, let's speak to Dinaz. Dinaz, yes, go ahead.
Hi, Meenal.
Hello.
This has happened to me in my life.
Yeah.
So between the ages of 21 and 28, somehow I seem to attract a lot of male attention. And when I'm saying a lot, I mean there must hardly have been one or two men who did not hit on me. And I was already married at that point. And I would introduce myself with my husband's name and everything. And the more this happened, the more irritated and frustrated I got, and the more energy I kept giving it. Do I have easy stamped on my forehead? What is wrong with these men? It was a killing 7 years until there was a straw that broke this camel's back. My husband's cousin, who was supposed to be the most lallu of the lot, hit on me. And that day, I just shut shop and I sat down. And I said, Yaar, ye kya hai? I am not the most beautiful woman in the world. I definitely am not. So be wrong. Chal, ek ho, do ho, teen ho. But this is ridiculous. This has to be me. Somewhere it has to be me. I don't know what it is, but somewhere it's got to be me. I promise you from that day on, nothing has happened.
So amazing.
Now my question is, what happened? I don't know what happened. I genuinely don't know what happened. There were no pearls of wisdom that came to me or anything.
That's fine.
But something shifted that day.
See, something.
And I'm presuming that something shifted in my energy.
Okay. You claimed that energy, that it must be me. However, that's fine. You claimed that energy and said that must be me. But all of that frustration that you had gathered, all of the frustration that you had gathered along the way, wherein you said, what is wrong with these people? What is this? I'm not the most. All of that frustration hasn't found a way out yet. Frustration is coming through different events, different stories, different ways of, bringing more frustration to life. But that part about getting attention from somewhere, and that's getting attention from somewhere and saying, I'm not the most beautiful person. Okay. However, so I will actually tell you, when you got attention, go to those places and see, what did you feel? You actually didn't feel good about yourself. You actually
Yes, I wasn't in those days.
I'm sorry?
I wasn't in those days. I'm
Correct.
talking
You
when I
weren't
was
in those
21, I'm
days, right?
62
You weren't
today.
feeling good. And when you are not feeling good and you are increasing the frustration, and it's really beautiful, when you are aware, let us say this was an aware journey of yours. Let us say this was an aware journey of yours. And then as you sit down and say, okay, I accept love in all forms. I accept love from wherever, in all forms, without naming love. Are you with me? Yeah,
Yes.
the same result would have been achieved. And I'm telling you so because that's my personal experience. After you're talking about, in those days or something, but for me, in these days, when my journey and the spiritual side has started, I have seen some people hitting on me and everything. And I don't say anything. I observe. I observe that when they are hitting on me, what is it that I am experiencing? And if I'm experiencing any kind of judgment for them, if I'm experiencing any kind of judgment for them, I simply work on my judgment. I work on my judgment and I say, money sends me love every day through so many different people in so many different ways. I accept. And can you believe it that so quickly, those very same people are calling me Ma? And that happens just so easily because I don't even have resistance over here to looking at that love and simply accepting. I would actually forget what happened and what happened on that day, but you shut shop. You shut shop as in you probably said, I don't know what you said to yourself, but it wasn't that I love myself. You didn't say that.
No, for sure
I
not.
would actually say to you today that go ahead, go to that place and hug yourself and say that I love myself. And as you love yourself more, somebody might come and present love to you in a way that makes you uncomfortable. Look at your discomfort. Put the finger here.
Now you're scaring me.
I'm sorry?
Now you're scaring me.
About what?
Somebody might come.
Yeah,
An
somebody
immediate
might
thought
come.
was, oh my God, not again.
Okay, then you have to first look at if you want to work within, because I know that when you shut shop, people stop coming, because if you don't love yourself, then people can't love you.
True.
So that might be the reason why they stopped coming, because you shut shop. You said it must be something about me, but when you said it must be something about me, it was kind of a derogatory statement for yourself.
Okay.
And from that space, where is the love for yourself? There is no love over there. My understanding is that the whole journey is to love ourselves. And so as I begin to love myself, some forms of love I won't recognize because I have judged them. Oh, this is a love for an extramarital affair. And this is love from a bastard child, but this is love from somebody who's not related to me, or some such thing like that. Yeah. And you are putting buckets for love to be defined. But as you put buckets outside to define different kinds of love, those parts are simply the ones that you have not accepted are also going to come back to you. But this time, be in an acceptance stage. And if acceptance is what is scaring you, then you have to go firstly release the fear. What will happen? What will happen when somebody comes and hits on you? What will happen? What is the worst that can happen when somebody comes and hits on you? Release that fear. What is the worst that can happen? Oh, it was funny because you say so, because I was married, but I was married for a short time, and then I got divorced. Every friend of mine, whether married or unmarried, hit on me. Every friend of mine. And in those days, because I was not aware of the love and the many different forms of love, I stopped talking to those people. But that was my reaction then. That was my reaction then. And some of them I didn't stop talking to. Some of them I just I said, like, will you stop this? And I was just, in their face saying, will you just stop this? Or otherwise we are cutting out our friendship. And that helped. So what is the worst that will happen if somebody hits on you? What is the worst that will happen? Go within and release that fear. And then now try this. Now try this, that when you start to accept parts of yourself that you don't like, even when somebody is hitting on you, see if you've ever hit on somebody because you had a major crush, or you wanted to, or you felt like, but you didn't. Well, all of those energy, just simply go and take a look at it. These are games that we play to make experiences for our energy field. So with your people hitting you, you created experiences of frustration. And when, again, even all this way right here, when people were hitting on me, and this time around, I did it differently. This time around, there was no need for a conversation with the outside. I simply kept watching as they were hitting. And then I simply said, okay, I accept. I accept all different forms of love. And that's it. And literally 4 days later, 2 days later, the equation had changed and I was Mima. How? Because
something
my
just came up
energy.
for me.
Mm.
I don't know. Okay, so something came up that said, I didn't feel like I was worthy of love at that point.
Fine, then, and then it manifested right there from that point
I'm sorry, I didn't get the last part.
I said, and so you manifested it now, and now you're worthy of your own love. So go there and change that energy. That energy came from separation, and now go and deal with everything in oneness. Because there is no other.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Okay, and I've got somebody says shame, and then somebody says we might fall for them. Okay, so what is the consequence that might happen? We might fall for them. All right, then let's get another actor in the play. And let's start creating some other fun experiences now. So that's how it is. Okay, now let's talk to Jagmeet. Hi, Jagmeet, how are you?
Hi, great. How are you?
Wonderful.
Okay.
Tell us.
So coincidentally, in the morning only someone called me, and like she's working in an organization, and she was a friend with someone, and that person has approached for like to be physical or to go in, like grow in the relation, but like he's married and she's not married, so she's getting uncomfortable, and she has
Yeah.
been doing that deep release and putting that person in fire and releasing all the emotions and
Putting
everything.
that person in fire. Oh, that's hilarious. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, because of the attachment tool,
Okay,
the
अच्छा,
chita
that
jilate
one.
hain, so that way.
Okay, हाँ
So that
हाँ
I
ठीक है,
told
वो
her, and
बढ़िया
then
है.
she's been doing it.
Okay.
So then she felt better, and at times it was okay. From past 1 week, this person has again come back, and that person is really asking her, and she's saying that I don't want to talk to you, or okay, we'll talk later, or something. But then this person has become, like, as per her words, like he has become aggressive, or he's becoming too obsessed about me. So I took guidance, and the message came that you are obsessed about so many things in your life. So release that obsession. And if this person is not there in your life, does it make any difference? She did that also. And about the aggressive also. But the same topic is going on. So what's your view or guidance on this?
No, the parts and the guidance that you received is absolutely correct. Keep looking at your emotion. We think it's a ek bar dekh liya, now we are done with it. Each time the emotion is in layers and something gets added, something, because the first time that person would have come, she might have felt, disappointed, or I don't know, whatever she might have felt from the relationship, that, oh, this is a friend and why is he doing this or something, and would have felt some judgment, but some other emotions. But as the experience deepens, it can't be that there are only the same emotions. The emotions are also going to keep changing. So you have to keep looking as the experience is deepening. That means if if truly a release has happened, again, she might have done everything that you told her to do. And with that, things would quiet. But then, as I always say, attachments are simply something that we put away and then
And
we go bring back. and we
Exactly.
put away, and then we pick right up and we bring back. So when an experience deepens and when the experience is not dissolving, that means that actor over there has something more to show. That role is not over yet because you haven't seen in all aspects of that relationship yet. That actor is simply still there for a purpose. And the purpose is for you to be able to look at so many different emotions and to be able to sort through what all you are carrying, what all that person is carrying in their energy field. This is an opportunity. And this is the opportunity. When things get uncomfortable, or when things get intensely sad or disappointing, or something, when things get there, we have this opportunity to bring the finger within and to look at all the layers. And I'm telling you that when I've done this work on myself, not in this scenario, but many a times I've even spoken about it, that, for example, when somebody hurts me, and I've got one or two actors that I've given that role to. When somebody hurts me, I might feel the hurt for 2 minutes, but the finger comes back within very, very quickly. I'm like, acha, ab kya dikhana hai? Ab to kuch, matlab, something I cannot see. Something you have to show me. This person is again said something like that. It cannot be that I don't have something to work on myself. It has to be work on me alone. And the finger can move away from that outside person. The finger is not moving away from the outside person. The finger has to move away from the outside person. And this is my energy that is creating this event with XYZ. It's my energy, that part, versus it's my energy, I'm doing this, but that person is troubling me. You understand? That person cannot trouble you.
Exactly. I told her that there's no other person. She says that
काम
always say,
खुद पे आया है, काम खुद पे आया है, और बैठो, guidance लो. You can do this each time that even that person's thought comes to you. You sit and do the work within. Do the journaling. Don't just do sitting or whatever and trying to see what emotions. Do the journaling. Look at, so many times, so many things come up when we are journaling that we missed out on. That we've
exactly.
missed out.
I feel so.
What stops you from even going and talking to them and saying no? Or what stops you from being, cutting them out of your life? Look at every aspect of actions also. Before taking the action, I'm not even saying taking the action is pointless.
The next step.
But look at all the steps that you might take, and look at all the emotions that might be there. Look at all the emotions that might be there, and all the emotions, all the steps that you might take, and look at each and every emotion and release it from your energy field. Do the deep emotional release tool, which is to sit and go and look at five different aspects in your own life, in your previous life, where you dealt with the same energies. Whether it is sadness at losing somebody, whether it is regret, whether it is disappointment, worry, fear, whatever it is, the judgment, look at all of those scenarios and clear the energies outside of them. And when that person will say something, that threat that you feel, the threat that is coming from fear, that, oh, this person is now adamant, they are becoming obsessed. What if they're obsessed? What is the fear? What if they will get obsessed? What will happen? What will happen if they're obsessed and they're stalking you? What will happen? Go and address all of those fears, because there is fear underneath this as well.
Great. So I'll tell her. So, interestingly, she told me, like in my school days, someone had approached me and I didn't like the person, and then the person said, I will commit suicide. And I told that person, तुम कल की जगह आज ही मर जा, मेरे को कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. And then my friends told me कि तू क्या कर रही है, अच्छा लड़का है, and this and that, and she didn't treat, and she didn't do it. And after the, like the school farewell, she told that person कि तू मरा तो है नहीं. तो she knows कि मतलब ये मेरे को समझ में आ रहा है, मैं उसको 500 बड़ी चिता भी जला चुकी हूँ, सब कुछ कर चुकी हूँ. And even if I lose him also, that is also not
So
a
we've
problem.
already discussed this, all of the answers, plus including the fear. So
Journaling.
So
Journaling.
sit and look at all of this. So this part, you can tell her to look at this part of our conversations and she'll get her answers from you.
Definitely. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Okay. Let's talk to Dr. Bhargav.
नमस्कार माँ.
Namaskar. How are you?
फाइन है. बहुत दिनों के बाद डंडा खाने का मन हुआ है तो क्वेश्चन लेकर आया हूँ.
अच्छा ऐसा. ओके चलो फिर डंडा खाने का मन हुआ तो दे देंगे.
ये तो जॉयफुली सहनशील होने की बात हुई ना.
हाँ ओके बोलो व्हाट्स अप.
जॉयफुली सहनशील होने की बात है ना, क्योंकि एक पर्सन है जिससे प्रॉब्लम है. नेचुरली इट कैन बी द नियरेस्ट वन जिससे रेगुलर प्रॉब्लम्स है, और चेंज जो करना है वो मुझे ही करना है.
सहनशील. I'm going to catch you on that word.
I'm that's why I say डंडा मिलेगा.
So I'm going to
जॉयफुली.
catch क्या कौन होता है सहनशील? पहले तो मुझे तुम बताओ होता कौन है जिसमें सहन शक्ति ज्यादा होती है वो सहनशील होता है. फिर तो वो तो सब कुछ सहता चला जाएगा क्योंकि वो तो सहनशील है.
लेकिन ये जो वो तो फ्रस्ट्रेशन वाला सहनशील हुआ. ये तो जब आप बंद करते हैं बोलते हैं कि
ये वर्ड अगर आपने यूज किया है सहनशील, जॉयफुली सहनशील, अगर आप जॉयफुली कर रहे हैं ना तो इतनी सहन शक्ति आ जाती है कि वो सहनशीलता का शब्द. सो आई टेल यू वन थिंग. ओके all my life, I mean it's just all my life I have thought of myself to be an impatient person. मतलब मुझ में तो पेशेंस है ही नहीं, सहन शक्ति तो है ही नहीं. All my life that's how I have looked upon myself. क्योंकि ना मतलब कुछ भी होना तो मतलब अब जल्दी से होना चाहिए एंड लाइक अभी वेट क्यों करना है एंड देन मैं तो मरे जा रही हूँ लाइक फॉर समथिंग. आई एम सो एक्साइटेड अबाउट थिंग्स दैट आई हैव ऑलवेज थॉट ऑफ माई सेल्फ एज बीइंग इम्पेशेंट. Always. And that has not changed within me, except when people come to me and say, oh my God, you explain the same thing to 20 people over and over again. And so many times they're asking the same question. And you keep explaining it to them. And you're explaining it with, danda happens every once in a while. But most of the times, 20 times out of 20, you will actually hear me just explain the same thing with different examples. And people are like, you have so much patience. And this was a wholeness tool for me right there and then. Ki, oh my God, I never thought I had patience. And the universe is showing me ki, na, you are this and you are that too. So जिस वक्त हमें जिस चीज की जरूरत है, अगर सहनशीलता की जरूरत है तो वो आ जाएगी. I am not binding myself to कि मेरे को तो सहनशीलता रखनी पड़ेगी और वो भी जॉयफुली रखनी पड़ेगी क्योंकि मतलब फिर हम कंप्लेंट नहीं करेंगे ना. दैट इज द टॉपिक फॉर टुडे कि कंप्लेंट कर दिया तो फिर गलत हो जाएगा, तो इसलिए कंप्लेंट नहीं करना है और जॉयफुली सहनशील रहना है. लेट मी जस्ट टेल यू दैट व्हेन यू एक्चुअली लेट गो ऑफ योर फ्रस्ट्रेशन, when you let go of your कंप्लेंट नहीं करना है तो तुमने ऐसे ले लिया कि मतलब ओहो ये तो रूल बन गया कि कंप्लेंट तो कर नहीं सकते. ना मैंने तो बोला कि कर भी लो, लेकिन ये ध्यान रखो कि whatever you are doing is going to grow. So then today one complaint will grow to tomorrow 3 complaints. Be prepared. Okay, if you are going to make पानी के अंदर पत्ती डाल के चाय, then be prepared कि चाय ही बन के आएगी. Be prepared. That's all. Then don't expect कि अरे ये तो और खराब है, is not doing this also, now he's not doing. That's the story you are creating, not them. So Sahanshilta is a word which will go out the window when you are sitting in joy. When this place feels empty and there is no expectation from anybody to do anything. फिर किस बात के लिए सहनशील हो रहे हो तुम?
It's a moment. That's a moment.
और जब तुमको लगे कि ओ हो ये नहीं कर रहे, और जब देखने को आए तो that moment is creating an experience. Fully accept that experience and then in the next minute change it. So when you feel like complaining, before you can even say one line, मैं आ जाऊंगी, I'll be in your ears.
You are already there, but still
I'm telling you.
Not complaining, accepting the way it is. But there are some moments that, okay, there is no change, whatever.
So if there is a expectation of change, then you will keep feeling the prick. And the minute you break that expectation itself, it's like आपकी यात्रा आपको नमन और मेरी यात्रा मुझको नमन.
Certain scientific, social, whatever way, there are norms. And actually that norms are expected from everybody. Certain scientific हो कोई हो या कुछ भी, ये certain norms है और उससे आगे तो कहाँ मांग रहे हैं.
So what does it make you feel?
Expectation again.
What does it make you feel when somebody is asking zyada more than the scientific, whatever norms, societal norms or scientific norms, I don't know, but what does it make you feel? Helpless.
It is helplessness. But again, when the things are accepted, there are...
No, please. No. Moment to moment you are shifting. सामने बंदा खड़ा हो रहा है, तुम्हारी finger is there. And from that person you are feeling helplessness. And then you are accepting, but not enough that you can look at that request again and simply laugh at it. Every time that request is put up, you are triggered. That means काम तो नहीं हुआ. उंगली उस पे है अभी. उंगली उस पे. You know, societal norms. मेरे पास आके किसी ने मुझसे 10 लाख मांगे, फिर मैंने दे दिए, फिर उन्होंने उड़ा दिए, फिर उन्होंने मुझे बोला 10 लाख और दे दो, मैंने दे दिए, फिर उन्होंने उड़ा दिए, फिर आके मुझे बोले 10 लाख और दे दो, मैंने दे दिए, फिर उन्होंने उड़ा दिए. मैंने क्यों दिए हर बार? ओनली मैंने नहीं दिए. एवरी टाइम ही वुड कम एंड से 10 लाख दे दो, आई वुड टॉस द कॉइन एंड आस्क मणि जी क्या करना है. ओके, एंड मणि जी ने कम से कम भी तो 10 बार बोला कि दे दो. उसने कभी 5 लाख मांगे, कभी 10 लाख, अकॉर्डिंग टू साइंटिफिक, सोसाइटल, व्हाटएवर नॉर्म्स. ओके, वो उड़ाए चले जा रहा है और आके मुझसे मांगता है और मैं दिए चले जा रही हूँ. आई एम नॉट फीलिंग हेल्पलेस. व्हाई? बिकॉज वो मांगता है, मैं तो हूं ही नहीं. वो आया है मेरे पास, मणि ने भेजा होगा, तो मणि जी आप ही बता दो क्या करना है. एंड देन मणि विल से दे दो. तो अगर इफ आई एम गोइंग टू फील कि ओहो पिछले 30 लाख तो गंवा चुका है, अब फिर से 10 मांग रहा है, नाउ द वर्क इज ऑन मी. बट अच्छा मणि ने बोला हाँ दे दो, तो चलो चेक ही तो काटना बाकी रहता है, फिर तो दे दिए. फिर उसके बाद पैसे थे नहीं, सारे पैसे खत्म हो गए. करोड़ थे मेरे हाथ में, करोड़ों चले गए उसी हिसाब से. ओके, उसके बाद वो फिर आ गए. अच्छा 10 लाख दे दो. हमने मणि को पूछा क्या करना है, मणि ने बोला दे दो. अब प्रॉब्लम आ गई, क्योंकि पैसे नहीं आए. लाइक कहां से लेके आऊं? मणि से मां से मांग के दे दो. अब तो भयंकर प्रॉब्लम आ गई, बहुत काम आ गया, क्योंकि माँ के पास तो पैसे हैं ही. माँ के पास तो टोटल मिला के सारे बैंक्स में मिला के सिर्फ 10 लाख होंगे शायद, और उसमें से मणि कह रहे कि नहीं दे दो. अब वो तो करना नहीं है, तो काम किस पे आया? मुझ पे आया, क्योंकि मणि ने बोला दे दो. क्योंकि वहां पे भी ये अटैचमेंट भी निकालनी थी कि अरे माँ के पैसे, वो बेचारी ये समथिंग, वो बेचारी काम हमेशा खुद पे है. सोसाइटल नॉर्म्स, ओह प्लीज, nobody follows. Everything. No.
You are speaking
Everything.
and the things are okay.
Everything is your energy. Your energy doesn't follow societal norms. So the role that you have given to that fellow actually doesn't follow societal norms, because you have given this role to that fellow. That fellow doesn't exist, but you have given this role to that fellow. Your energy is not bound by societal norms. Your energy is not bound. Your energy is simply every emotion. Which emotion is bound by societal and scientific norms? You tell me. Is sadness bound by societal norms कि नहीं इसकी death पे इतना ही रो सकते हैं? There are no norms for that. Okay? जो emotion है किसी को 5 घंटे रोने को आएगा, किसी को 5 साल रोने को आएगा. The emotions are not bound by any norms. The emotions are the experiences, and so keep putting your finger on the experience you are creating and which emotion of yours is creating that experience. Everything else is story. Everything else is story. That person's societal norms, scientific norms, paranormal norms doesn't work. Everything is only a creation of your energy. The more you go out into outside stories, the more they will keep bringing you and feeding you on it. For me, everything is very simple. कोई भी कुछ भी आके मांगता है, I look at दिया तो क्या और नहीं दिया तो भी क्या, क्योंकि in both places I'm the medium. और फिर अब देना है कि नहीं देना है, I ask money, देना है कि नहीं देना है. फिर वो जितना बोलता है, उन्होंने बोला 7 करोड़ का घर है, दे दो, दे दिया. हमारे पास तो नहीं है 7 करोड़ का घर अभी, हम किराए के मकान में रहते हैं, पर दे दिया ना. क्यों? Because money said, and money is the doer, I am not. I'm a medium. Now, will I be a pure medium or will I be a medium with mixed emotions? That's my journey. So उसने ये मांगा, उसने सहनशीलता, that word itself is about you being in a victim space, and you already said it. Helplessness you are feeling. So उस helplessness की आरती क्या उतारी जा रही है यहाँ पे? From helpless to powerful. That's the journey. That person has come to show you your helplessness. That person has come to show you your helplessness that you are holding. And joyfulness, there is no patience needed. I sit in a space of joy. अभी बैठ के तुमको आधे घंटे का ज्ञान दिया, डंडा नहीं पड़ा तुम्हें. और ये बात 2600 बार तो मैं हर सेशन में समझा. Nothing new. But where is this patience coming from? It's not mine. Your role in my life, my role in your life. You've given me a role, I'm speaking that role. 20,000 times in a day, I will speak the role for all of those who have given me that role. But it happens when this is empty. This is empty. I'm not, अरे यार, फिर से उसको वही समझाना पड़ेगा. 4 साल हो गए. Even when I say so, कि I have nothing new to say, and yet I do 1 hour of webinars. And I have nothing new to say. And I do them joyfully, and everybody comes to listen with patience. I'm impatient when that's the frequency. I'm patient when that is the frequency. I don't tie myself down to anything anymore. I'm very patient and I'm very impatient. I'm both. तो आपके सामने you are helpless and you are powerful. You are both. But you haven't tapped into that opposite side of it right now. So tap it. और वो सामने से उसने, that person is doing this. There is no that person. Story, story, story. When you are joyfully sahansheel, the word stops at joyful. You can't experience anything else on the other side. You're just joyful. It just stops there. It won't show up. I have to exercise so much patience. No, you don't have to. You can be impatient. You can be impatient on the outside. Who says कि पूरे time आरती उतारनी है सामने वालों की? I only say खुद की आरती उतारनी है 100% of the time. सामने वालों के अंदर क्या चल रहा है उसको देखना ही नहीं है. सामने वाले के लिए जो मुंह से निकले वो सही, और सामने वाले के लिए जो मुंह से निकला उसको देख के अगर खुद के अंदर इमोशन बन गया तो खुद पे काम आ गया है. उंगली हमेशा बस हर बाहर जाने के बाद it has to end here. It is to end here. That's where it comes.
Put it now.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Okay. क्या है दर्शन? अब तेरे को क्या पूछना है?
नहीं
सारे जवाब नहीं मिले क्या तुझे अभी?
नहीं, जवाब काफी मिले हैं. तो कंप्लेंट जैसे लास्ट ईयर में पूछता था तो चेंज हो गया मेरा. But like if I observe certain behavior in my, in my work about children and I want to present it to their parents, so I use the word certain observation. But somewhere I don't know, it's just a change of word because कि मतलब somewhere I personally feel कि वो parent को aware करूँ बच्चे के behavior के बारे में. तो again, it will be a very
You
thin
feel
line.
responsible.
नो, आई एम नॉट फीलिंग रिस्पॉन्सिबल. मतलब कि उनके ऑब्जर्वेशन में लाया जाए, क्योंकि शायद ये है कि स्कूल में से ये उनको फीडबैक्स नहीं मिलता होगा और यहाँ जो मैं ऑब्जर्व कर रहा हूँ वो उनको
तो
ऑब्जर्वेशन.
तुमने दे दिया फीडबैक. तुमने दे दिया फीडबैक.
बट वोंट दैट बी लाइक अ कंप्लेंट? दैट्स व्हाट आई वांटेड टू डिस्टिंग्विश. नहीं मैं कर पा रहा था कि
When you are complaining, put the finger on yourself. Okay.
Okay.
When you are complaining about things that I'll tell you what you complained about. I'll tell you. Not about this. This is part of your job. But I'll tell you, you complained. I am not feeling anything, but outside people say that I am lazy. That is a complaint. In that, your emotion is engaged. Okay. When you are reporting something to the children's or whatever, if there is no emotion engaged, if you are feeling, oh, the child is doing wrong, बच्चे की जिंदगी बर्बाद हो जाएगी if he continues on this path, तो पहले खुद पे काम करो. कि बच्चे की जिंदगी तो वही है जो होने वाली है. वो अपनी एनर्जी लेके आया है, वो काम खुद पे कर लिया. उसके बाद पेरेंट्स को जो वर्ड्स बोलो, ऑब्जर्वेशन बोलो, कंप्लेंट बोलो, इट्स नॉट अबाउट द वर्ड, it's the charge behind the word. So 2 years ago when I met you, when you would complain to parents, it would be coming from that space कि अरे इसको संभालो, otherwise इसकी जिंदगी खराब हो जाएगी. And now you are not coming from that space anymore.
Yeah,
You are not coming from
absolutely.
the space anymore. I don't care what words you use. I don't care what you do.
Exactly.
So when you are complaining about someone, are you feeling triggered within also कि यार ये तो बहुत ही खराब हो रहा है बच्चे के साथ? If you are feeling that, then there is work on you.
Work within me.
Otherwise, everybody is doing form filling and report writing. Do whatever you have to do, but keep looking within कि are you actually feeling the pinch, or you are simply just अच्छा ठीक है बच्चे ने ये किया, ये मेरे को बताना है as a whatever, as a role of a guide. As a role of a guide. Okay, बता दिया. अब उसके बाद बच्चा बिगड़ रहा है कि सुधर रहा है, that's not your journey.
That was what I was doing last year, getting
That's
लोग
not
नहीं जा
your
रहे.
journey.
Yes.
So then, am I complaining? Yeah, in that sense, you might be complaining. But complaint is a word. If you don't have charge underneath that complaint, then that's all there is to it. Then I can use any word. I can use the word observation and yet feel the complaint.
Complain, yeah, got it.
So it's not about the word. It's about what are you feeling inside.
Absolutely, got it, ma'am.
Wonderful.
Inside feeling, sure.
Yes. All right, then. Okay. I'm tired of speaking. There's going to be no meditation today. शांति में बैठ जाओ बस. Inhale and exhale. And all these words that we use today, helpless, the other person a bully, that person capable of ruining me, all of those emotions, just simply look at everything and claim the power back to yourself. Just simply that. Claim it back to yourself. This is my life. I create my life. I create my life with love. I create my life with joy. This is my life. These are my experiences. Everything just an experience. And I am open to all experiences. I run away from no experience. I am open to all experiences. And as you think about all experiences, and if something creates fear in you, then simply look at the fear and laugh. Laugh. Oh, you're just frequency. What do? I know what to do when fear frequency comes. Hug it and release it. I hug my own self. I hug my own fearful self. And then I release the fear. And I just continue to hug myself. This time, without the fear. The fear has left. And simply claim all the power of love within. I accept love in all shapes and forms. Go of my definitions of love. I let go of my definitions of proper love and improper love. The only love that I know is love to myself. And so I hug myself in this moment and I give all kinds of love to myself. All kinds of love belongs to me. It is me only. And I let go of the limited buckets that I have created around love. In this moment, I am limitless. In this moment, I am love. I am love. I am love. I am love. Okay, everyone. Small, sweet, simple. Experiencing the love for the self. Only love, only love, only love for the self. Om Mani, Om Mani, Om Mani. Lots of love. Bye, everybody.